It began as what police believed would be a routine stolen vehicle call on a quiet Ohio afternoon, until officers realized the driver was not an adult or even a teenager, but an 11-year-old child with two other children, ages 8 and 12, riding inside the car, weaving through neighborhood streets, ignoring traffic signals, and narrowly avoiding disaster, leaving officers stunned as they brought the vehicle to a stop and approached with caution, only to find 3 kids climbing out, confused and frightened rather than defiant. And during questioning, investigators uncovered an even more disturbing detail when the young driver admitted he learned how to steal the car by watching YouTube videos, following step-by-step instructions without fully understanding the danger, treating the act like an adventure rather than a life-threatening crime, prompting authorities to release the children into their parents' custody due to their ages while considering possible juvenile charges, and forcing a broader conversation about unsupervised internet access, parental responsibility, and how easily online content can blur the line between curiosity and criminal behavior. As police emphasized, this was not a story meant to shock for entertainment, but a warning that the chase could have ended in tragedy, with innocent lives lost, and that the most alarming part of the case was not just that children stole a car, but how effortlessly they learned how to do it. After the children were released to their parents, police began quietly retracing the hours leading up to the chase, interviewing family members, neighbors, and school officials to understand how 3 children so young managed to plan and execute a car theft without immediate detection, and what they uncovered raised deeper concerns than the chase itself, including repeated patterns of unsupervised late-night screen use, familiarity with advanced online content well beyond the children's ages, and conversations that suggested this was not a spontaneous act, but something rehearsed, with investigators discovering search histories, shared videos, and messages that hinted the children had discussed doing it before, while parents struggled to reconcile the image of their kids at home with the reality of what happened on the streets. And authorities debated whether the justice system was even equipped to handle cases this young, as child advocates warned that punishment alone could push them further down a dangerous path. Yet law enforcement quietly acknowledged one unsettling possibility they were still investigating, something not yet made public, something that could change how this case is understood entirely, because evidence suggested the children may not have been acting alone. And just as investigators moved to confirm who else might have been involved, a new lead surfaced that forced them to reopen the case from the beginning, leaving one chilling question unanswered as the investigation. As investigators followed the new lead, they uncovered details that shifted the case from a reckless childhood incident into something far more troubling, revealing that the stolen vehicle had been taken before in a similar manner weeks earlier, but the report was quietly dismissed as a misunderstanding. And when detectives compared timelines, they noticed the same children appeared near both locations, raising questions about whether this chase was only the moment they were finally caught, not the first time they tried. While digital forensics revealed accounts and devices connected to the children had been accessing increasingly extreme content, including videos that framed car theft as a game with rules, scores, and challenges, blurring reality into something performative, as authorities struggled with how much responsibility could legally be placed on children so young, and whether someone older was guiding them from behind the scenes. And just as police prepared to confront the families with these findings, a report came in that stopped the investigation cold. Another vehicle had just been reported stolen in a nearby county under circumstances disturbingly similar, and officers realized the pattern might be continuing, setting the stage for what they feared could be far bigger than a single chase. Leading directly, police moved quickly on the new stolen vehicle report, coordinating across county lines as surveillance footage began to surface. And while the suspects initially appeared older, analysts noticed something chilling in the video. The driver's movements were hesitant and familiar, matching the same erratic patterns seen in the first chase, prompting investigators to consider the unthinkable possibility that the influence behind these crimes was spreading rather than stopping, as officers discovered online group chats and comment threads where minors from different areas shared videos, tips, and encouragement, turning real-world theft into a shared digital challenge. And while authorities worked to shut down accounts and alert parents, they faced a critical problem. None of the children involved saw themselves as criminals, only participants in something they believed was harmless, until investigators uncovered a private message suggesting a final escalation, a post hinting at going faster next time, and proving who's really fearless, leaving police racing against time to identify who was organizing it before another child took the wheel, setting an ominous path toward. Authorities finally traced the private messages to a single online account that had been quietly encouraging the children, praising their risk-taking and pushing them to go further. But when investigators subpoenaed the platform records, they uncovered a disturbing twist. The account did not belong to an adult predator or organized criminal, but to another minor, slightly older, operating from a different state and chasing online attention rather than understanding the real-world consequences, forcing law enforcement to confront a new and unsettling reality where influence, not intent, was driving dangerous behavior. As parents were notified, schools were brought into emergency meetings, and child psychologists warned that the digital reward system had replaced fear with validation, leaving families grappling with guilt and disbelief, while officials worked to dismantle the online network before it inspired copycat incidents, closing the case not with arrests or convictions, but with intervention programs, mandatory supervision, and a sobering conclusion that the most powerful weapon in this story was not a stolen car or a police chase, but a screen in a child's hands, quietly shaping decisions with irreversible consequences. In the weeks after the case was officially closed, the ripple effects continued to surface quietly across Ohio. As schools implemented emergency digital safety briefings, parents began surrendering devices to investigators for review, and law enforcement tracked copycat behavior that never made headlines but carried the same dangerous patterns, revealing how deeply the influence had already spread, while the children at the center of the chase entered court-ordered counseling and supervision programs, struggling to understand how a moment that felt like a game had nearly ended lives. And as psychologists evaluated their behavior, they identified a troubling detachment from consequence, shaped not by malice, but by repetition and online validation, prompting authorities to issue a rare public warning about algorithm-driven content and its ability to normalize extreme acts for young audiences, closing the documentary with an unsettling truth that this story was never really about one stolen car or one chase, but about how easily childhood curiosity can be weaponized by digital spaces, leaving viewers with a final haunting question that no investigation could answer. How many similar stories never end with flashing lights and second chances? Months later, as public attention faded, investigators revisited the case files one last time and noticed something that had been overlooked in the rush to contain the crisis: subtle changes in online behavior patterns among children far beyond Ohio, mirroring the same language, challenges, and coded phrases first used in this case, suggesting the story had quietly traveled faster than law enforcement ever could. While experts warned that removing a few accounts did not erase an idea once it had taken hold, and parents interviewed for the documentary admitted, they had underestimated how early children could understand and imitate what they saw. As the final chapter shifted away from police reports and toward an uncomfortable reality, prevention lagging behind technology, accountability struggling to find its place, and childhood itself becoming a front line, ending not with closure, but with a stark realization that the chase may have stopped on Ohio streets. But the influence that started it was still moving, unseen and unresolved. As the documentary reaches its final moments, the camera pulls back from police files and court documents and focuses on the quiet spaces left behind. Empty streets where the chase once unfolded, classrooms where the children returned under watchful eyes, and homes where parents now lock away keys and screens alike. While experts acknowledge that no law or platform policy can fully replace guidance and presence, and investigators admit that cases like this are becoming harder to detect before they turn dangerous, closing with a sobering reminder that this story had a rare ending without loss of life. But many others may not, leaving viewers with the haunting truth that in an age where information moves faster than maturity, the line between innocence and irreversible harm has never been thinner. Even after months of counseling, supervision programs, and tightened online monitoring, authorities discovered subtle signs that the incident had left lasting marks, not only on the children involved, but across the wider community. As other minors began mimicking risky behaviors seen online, schools reported near misses on streets eerily similar to the Ohio chase, and parents admitted their fear that curiosity combined with unsupervised access to devices could turn any ordinary day into a potential crisis. While digital forensics experts warned that algorithms continued to expose young minds to content glorifying rebellion and thrills. And though the original 3 children were now under strict guidance, the network of influence they had interacted with remained active, leaving investigators with the chilling understanding that even when the case seemed closed, the cycle of imitation and digital encouragement could ignite again at any moment, setting the stage for consequences far beyond what anyone could have predicted.